everybody.
Hi.
It's Kim and Jen from Fleece and Harmony. Welcome to our knitting podcast.
Knitting.
Yeah, which also includes
knitting.
Farm updates, knitting, ripping out,
knitting,
farm life, and the weather.
That's it.
Yeah.
Maritime weather is your thing. We got you covered.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that's pretty typical of people that live in a changeable environment, because there's other podcasts that I watch that they talk a lot about the weather as well.
Yeah.
Especially northern places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be just an everywhere thing, like 35 degrees and sunny, 200 days in a row. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I don't know. Not as exciting as minus 10 Celsius one day.
It's more predictable.
Yeah, exactly. So Hannah's keeping us company off camera, so she's busy.
That was rather agile for her. Okay.
She's busy today.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're watching this on April 16th, and it's episode 70.
Wow.
I know.
They're going by fast now.
Yeah, they are. Time's flying.
Yeah. Well, that's never good.
Yeah. It goes much faster. You wait for 10 more years.
Thank you. I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm definitely feeling that. Life is short now.
Yes, I can remember when I was 14, just wishing that I was 16. 2 years would fly by, and it went so slowly. Now, you blink your eye in 2 years.
Or waiting to get your liquor ID or your driver's license. Took 25 years.
Yeah. Well, my driver's license, that was the thing that I wanted when I was 16. But anyway, that was a long time ago. Very long.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. So we'll start with the farm update. So we sheared on Sunday.
Yeah, and we have some video footage that I'll compile.
Yeah.
And some people watched it on Instagram stories. I put it in there like, wow, I had no idea sheep would be so loud. They're incredibly loud.
Yes.
It's like cacophony.
Yes, that's exactly the right word to say.
And it's in a steel roof barn.
Yeah.
So it's echoing as well.
Yeah.
And for prey animals that should want to be incognito,
right.
They're absolutely the most obnoxiously loud bunch of animals you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Cows could only hope to make that kind of racket. Seriously.
But it's not all of them. It's the same three.
You recognize their voices.
Yes, you start to recognize their voices. And
yeah.
I can tell you sometimes your mind goes in bad places.
Like, there, you're done. Get out of the barn.
Yeah. Anyway, and it's mostly, well, I guess it's all the activity going on, and you crowd them.
They're just never happy.
No. You crowd them into a tight group when you're shearing them because you want them to warm up, because it helps like soften the lanolin and everything. So, I think they, I don't know. I can't remember exactly when you took the video, if it was kind of in the middle or near the end. In the middle. By the end, then there's not many left, so it starts to get, because they're all outside. They
were eating inside this year though.
Yeah, that's
because it was raining. It was frizzle snizzle like weather, like
not ideal for shearing.
No.
So you should be. We had them in the barn for 3 days to try to dry them out, because it was like drizzly weather. We were just hoping that it was going to be sunny, but it didn't. But they weren't. They were mostly dry, but a little bit damp on top. So now Ken is frantically
trying to wash the wool.
Wash the wool, because it's not good just to store it long term when it's not completely dry. So
bad news.
But there'll be more on that later.
Oh,
because not later in this podcast, in another podcast, because what he's working on is pretty exciting.
Oh, right. Okay. Gotcha.
But we're not going to tell right now.
Okay. I didn't even know.
Yes, and we had a new shearer with Amber. She's training somebody. So that was the two of them were there, and it made things go a lot faster.
Yeah. It's really good to have two on the case.
Yes.
Because we sheared 118.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it was good. All right, so moving right along.
I mean, that's not a lot. That's a lot for us.
Yes, that's not.
We're really like a
sheep.
20 to 40 sheep farm.
Yeah,
where we were.
Yeah.
That's how we started.
Yeah, and somehow all of a sudden
we're very prolific.
Yeah. So that was a full day. Ken made chili, and we had lunch. We got to have lunch in the man cave.
Right.
So that was Ken's converted our woodshed. Our first yarn store, which was the woodshed before that, and he's got it all set up there. So we had a little picnic in there. So for shearing day, it was fun. All right, so now we're gonna talk about knitting.
Okay.
So whips and rips. So do you want to go first, or?
I think you should go first because all the kids' silkays on here is going to get tangled.
Okay.
If we don't move all this in the correct order.
We have a lot of kids silkays. We have a lot of kids silkays here.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start with Paisley, and I feel, I'm probably less than half done, but somehow I feel like I'm in some kind of home stretch now. Because
okay. Well, yeah, right.
So I am literally a half a centimeter away from starting the bind off for the sleeves, but I just couldn't get it done.
Okay.
couldn't get it done. So here it is. It's I made quite a lot of progress actually in the last 2 weeks.
It's looking very big.
Notice it's a lot of fabric.
Yeah,
it weighs a lot.
I think it's a substantial amount. Yeah,
and it's so now I have. So I think I've said this before. This grid pattern on the back with my tension is each time you complete one of these little squares, it's a centimeter. So I know that I have less than one square left to do. So that's
amazing.
So that's amazing. And I don't know what I was thinking this morning. I got up and I felt like, I should try to slip it up and see exactly, because if I'm going to start binding off for the sleeves, I want to make sure that it's really falling where I want it to fall. And I have a 37-inch cord in here, so I don't know who I was kidding, but
uh-oh.
I tried to slip it, and Ken was laughing. He said, what size cord do you have there? I said 37 inches. He said, how big are your hips? Not 37 inches. So anyway, I didn't, but I'm dying now to try it.
Yeah.
Kind of trying
you'll be able to once you bind it off.
Yeah. So, so that's that.
And what pattern is on the sleeves? Paisleys or just squares?
There's part, like some of this on the cuff.
Okay.
And I think it's just the squares. And
is that good news?
I don't know. It's a lot of squares.
Sleeves, let me tell you. It's going to be a theme for today.
Of course, I'll be doing 2 at a time.
If only sweaters came without sleeves.
Yeah, look at the inside.
What would that be? A vest. I'm going to become a vest knitter.
Yeah. It's like,
I know.
I'm really happy with my floats and my...
It's extremely tidy.
Yes, it is.
No question.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So, I know people that want to see floats, but it's I love it when your floats, you can kind of see the design.
Yep.
In your floats. That's
impressive.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. So it's going well. It's going to fit perfectly, I think. I since I couldn't pull it up.
I can't wait to get to sewing the things on.
Yeah, so that's the only thing with this is that you finish the sweater and then you're halfway done.
Yeah, but it's a more fun part, maybe. It still seems like a different project. It's not going to be like your quilt, is it?
No, I'm going to finish it for
30
sure.
years and counting.
No. I work on it every day.
Okay. Well,
and this is my morning knitting in bed every day, which is why I didn't get finished this morning because Ken's working on thinking about his next project. So, of course, that took the priority to me finishing.
There was a consultation required?
There was a consultation required.
And what does he decide?
He's going to knit a drops pattern called the Georgetown vest. He's going to knit a vest.
Wow. Really?
Yes. So he needs to speak to the yarn dyer about what color he wants. He wants fiddlehead.
Oh, is it a special yarn, though?
In SELKIRK Worsted.
No. Oh, yeah, I make that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
That's what he's going to do.
All right, I'll put that right on my list.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do that tomorrow then. When's he starting?
We're doing measurements this morning.
Okay.
To make sure that we're starting on the right size. Not the size you think you are.
Right.
But
Understood.
The size that you actually
And how many balls of fiddlehead do we need?
Not that many. I think it's 5.
Oh, that's a fair bit though. We don't have that out there. I don't think I'll have to make it. Okay.
Yeah. So there, Paisley.
Exciting. And is it not a pattern vest?
No.
Okay. So
just
it's
plain.
just the color. Okay.
He's just gonna knit a garment.
Good.
So, but it's a Norwegian.
Is it pieced?
Yes, and it's
He's gonna sew seams.
Apparently.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. And sleeve like it's fully fashioned,
Right.
So it's in pieces. And
Well, he's
the whole
obviously
thing.
going to have to come on and talk about it.
Well,
Or you're going to have to talk about it. Okay.
Anyway, it's gonna be it's good. I mean, he's knit enough scarves and
This is amazing.
hats
How did the
and-
socks turn out?
really good. He wears them all the time.
He wears them. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't show them.
No, but
Okay.
he's wearing them all the time.
I think you need to bring them next time. So
All
we
right.
can. I mean, I barely believe they really exist, but.
Oh no, they do.
Okay.
They do. Okay, so that's Paisley. And now Madeleine. So this is the evening's knitting. So
I like
Paisley,
how you've got this divided up. I should do a similar scheme.
Paisley in the morning, Madeleine in the afternoon is how it goes. So
Okay.
front and back together on the sides, on the needles, down to 2 balls because it's Kid Silk Haze held double. The color
Because you
is
had
Nectar
6.
and Bark.
Now you have 4.
Yes, now I
Okay.
have 4.
You're done the bark part,
Yeah.
but you have to do the duplicate stitch in here.
Yeah, so there's 2 places where I'll do duplicate stitch. There's pink, maybe we need to hold it up a little bit higher. Pink stripes that go down, like just 2
Yeah,
a few
because
stitches.
this looks quite different from the picture, so they
Yeah.
must go down more than 1 stitch.
No, it's like 2 or 3 stitches.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of look like
Right.
like an icicle or
a
something.
steeple.
Yeah,
A
steeple.
is
And then there's brown ones that go up.
not 2 or 3.
No, quite a lot.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what you do. And I was tempted to do it now before I finish. But I wanted to have enough room so that it wasn't crowding my knitting. So by the next podcast, I'll have that done.
Yeah, you
to
should
show
do that.
because but this is going really fast because this I only have to do I forget how many centimeters, 32 centimeters or something like that. I'm almost there.
You're just doing stockinette.
Yeah, and it's so I'm almost
Similar to
there
my
before-
Kid Silk Haze project
Yeah.
I'm working on right now.
So this is fun. This is fun to knit. So that's good. I'm just a little bit worried about this edge, but I'm hoping I talked about
I
it
think
the
when
last
you
time.
sew it, it's my darkness was very much like that.
Okay.
And once I sewed it and steamed it, not a problem.
Okay.
They know what they're
That's
doing.
good.
They
Yeah,
don't
they
don't
do.
do things that curl unless they're supposed to.
Yeah. And I was really careful about my my floats in this because it's a very fine yarn. But the color work is definitely a little bit smaller.
Right.
So, but it's not bunched. So I think my floats are okay, but it's just the tightness of the gauge.
Yeah,
But
I have a
that'll
little
probably
thing about
steam.
that too.
Probably steam out.
Right.
I think. But
Yeah, sure it'll all
there's
be
so
fine.
much fluff in this, which I love. But the pattern, I was surprised because when I watched the podcast from the last time, you can really see the pattern.
I know it's always that way. Because remember when we tried to show your stag sweater and we're
Yeah.
like, unfortunately, the fluff prevents you from seeing the pattern. There's something about a camera that cuts through the fluff and you don't see the fluff at all.
Or it's because it's from a distance. Like up close,
Yeah,
you see all the
maybe.
fluff, but from far away. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
that's it.
On that stag sweater, it's pretty fluffy.
Yeah.
But when we went to talk about it, we're like, it looks like there's not a problem at all.
Right.
Camera doesn't pick up fluff, apparently.
Not as well as your human eye, I guess.
Right.
All right. So that's that. So before you get started on your thing, should we say what we're wearing?
I think we should do that after.
Okay.
Because we're going to talk about the yarns that are contained in them.
All right.
And that kind of segues from my second project.
Okay, perfect. So it looks like we're organized.
I've got
and
it
have a
all
plan.
planned. Unfortunately, they know now. We just both figured that out now. So
Okay.
it wasn't organized. But now it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So Flax, still embroiled in controversy.
No.
But it is off the needles on the bottom.
Yeah.
It looks really short. But when he first tried it on, it was about 6 inches too long. So I soaked it, dried it, pinned it out, tried it on, and it was to the spec of the pattern, but that was too long for the person wearing it.
Okay.
So I've shortened it now, and then that took a lot of the weight off, and it sprung right up. This garter stitch thing. So it wasn't a problem like everybody thought, like it was ruining my life. but I'm not going to do it again because it's a squidgy, like a squirrely accordion-like kind of stitch that's just kind of unpredictable.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. So I ripped a bunch out, put the band back on. And now to me it looks too short, but it's very hard to tell when it's not on the body because when the arms are kind of holding it down and then it, you know. So I may have to take this off again and add a little, but I'm going to wash it and block it when it's completely done first. Because I think if I can get a couple extra inches out of blocking and it stays, then I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if it springs back up with body heat, I'm going to have to add to it. It's just like so unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's just too accordion-like. It's down, it's up, it's...
I think that's why you see a lot of people using garter stitch on the yoke and not down on the bottom of the sweater.
It's tricky. I mean, you basically are trying to figure out how far an elastic band will stay down before it recoils back up. Like it's...
However, there is a garter stitch tee in magazine 69, the Rowan magazine 69. So it might be worth it to look to see
what kind of directions
they put, like what the gauge is versus how the schematic works. I don't know if you'd be able to find out any information from that or not, but
lots of people will comment. Anyway, now it looks almost cropped, but it I don't know. I haven't tried it on again since I shortened. Well, we did. We tried it on again. And it did look a little bit short, but maybe like an inch.
Oh, okay.
So I think I can get that in blocking. Because, you know, also sweater length is so specific.
Yes.
Like, it has to be exactly where you want it, or it's less flattering, or more, you know, or totally ridiculous. Or, you know, it's like it has to sit exactly where you want it on your hips. And apparently it's not any different for a man.
No.
So I'm on the sleeve. So one thing I did do is start doing that mosaic knitting thing.
So you knit one stitch and slip one?
Yeah, and then do the opposite on the following row, and that compresses 2 rows into one.
Yeah.
And it does look like stockinette.
Yeah.
The only thing is, because of the slipping, it makes a much narrower band.
Okay.
You see how it goes down here?
Yeah.
So for the same number of stitches, I have a much narrower band, which I actually kind of like. If I had done that from the beginning, that would have been ideal.
Oh, so you did start it right in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you see?
Yeah.
So I think I can block that out too, because it's a width thing.
Okay.
What do you think? This is the first you're hearing of this.
Yeah, it looks like you can block it out, but then you can see it almost look like a little bit of rib. However, what I would say is that it looks to me like you started it right about where it would just come over the shoulder.
Yeah.
So it might not be noticeable.
So this thing where I don't have to break the yarn every 3 to 5 rows and it's a very consistent change in gauge is really, really, really convenient and ideal.
Right.
It's just, I wish I had started it at the beginning. But I can rip it back if you think it's going to be a problem.
And do what?
Do it this way, the regular way.
Oh. So, and you did that because you didn't like the width of the band, or you were afraid that it would be bulky?
I'd have to, well, it's not as good a way to
match elegant.
Yeah.
To do it. Yeah.
And I'd have all these ends every 5th row. I'd have a set of ends.
Right. Okay.
So what do you think? Like, I think when I stretch it out, you can't. Well, it does.
Yeah.
Because it makes it quite a bit wider. But you're right, it's going over the shoulder, and this part will be stretched over the shoulder.
What I would do is I would have him try it on and see exactly where it falls. Like, I mean, it could be, plus his shoulder is going to fill it out more than the upper arm maybe. I don't know.
So it looks like rib just because the stitches are being spread so widely.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect if I had started it that way. Yeah. I'm not reknitting the sweater to do it.
Yeah. Well, you just have to try it on.
So if this, how picky are we? Like if this just kind of goes right at the crest of the shoulder and then it looks ribbed all the way down the arm, that should be fine.
No, I don't think it'll look ribbed all the way down. It's more narrow. If you try to stretch it out, it looks ribbed.
Oh, I see. You want to just leave it narrow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because it doesn't look ribbed when you leave it narrow. I mean, there's a slight modeling, but the yarn is modeled.
So you think it might not be noticeable, the difference in the width.
Right.
Or I can go try to tuck this up somehow and make it.
No. It's the stretching out that makes it opens it up.
Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, people. This is becoming a bit of an odyssey now. Well, and I mean, I should have known better, but I did want to try it because it is so much less hassle to just be able to continuously stay on the needles.
Right.
But it's really not a big deal to rip back a tiny bit of sleeve. So I don't know, I'm torn. Do you think I'm going to be happy with it?
I think you need to have them try it on.
I'm skeptical. I think I'm going to end up redoing it.
Okay, well, try it on first.
Yeah.
That's what
we'll see. Anyway, the shoulders, like in terms of the changes I made to the raglan increases. Yes, they're increases, right? Yes. Were perfect.
Okay.
Like the row gauge is no longer an issue. It fits. It looks really wonderful.
Okay.
It fit really well. The width is fine. I was a bit nervous it was going to be too big because when I took it out of the water, it was like bleh.
I saw it on the blocking pads. I was like,
it's huge, right? Yeah. But guys are bigger than you think.
Yeah.
We're so used to looking at our own garments.
Yeah.
And like a 5'10" male
like
with
heads.
male shoulders and stuff, they're bigger than you think. And you're looking at something flat that goes three-dimensional and they have a chest and,
which is why you get in trouble.
When you try to guess.
You try to get too tight.
Yeah.
Too tight.
Yeah. So anyway, we are really, really happy with the sweater overall, but I don't know. I might end up redoing that. It's going to be for next winter. Definitely going to be too warm to wear it by the time.
Or January.
Yeah.
January is coming.
It's like some night when it's pale or something. Anyway, so that's Flax. Overall, going well. Yes, a lot more work than a stockinette Flax.
Right.
Definitely. Okay. But happy with the end result so far.
And look at everything you've learned.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, I more feel bad that it's not done in time for him to wear it when he wanted. He wanted to go skating in it.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's not
spring
happening.
came early.
It did.
Yes.
Did it?
It was sort of.
Okay. All right. So next we have Candy, which I started because I just want to have something else to talk about besides the Flax because everybody hates the project so much. This was my swatch. I actually used the wrong colors combined in the swatch, but it was all fine. I got gauge, I soaked and blocked it, and it was perfect. I've already got, this is actually the same as this.
Yeah. So it's Kid Silk Haze with fine lace.
Yes. This is 2 strands and 1 fine lace. 2 strands of Kid Silk Haze with 1 fine lace. Okay. So it's a 3-strand jobby.
Right.
I don't know what this is. If it's the same.
I actually didn't look it up.
Okay.
I think it's 1 and 1.
Anyway, so this is Candy. This is the back. And then you do the 2 sides, and there's no buttons or anything. It's just, I'll be doing the 2 sides, which I think I want to do 2 at a time, but for the fact that I'm going to have all these balls split in half. Mm-hmm. So that makes me not sure about the 2 at a time thing. The reason I'd like to do it 2 at a time is just to make sure you get the exact number of rows for your stripes, and it makes it all match up perfectly for seaming like you talked about and all that kind of thing.
And then you're done.
And then you're done, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's tempting, but it's going to create a lot of fluffy balls, and these things mat together like...
Well, I don't find that they're matting together.
Okay, well, we'll see. So
you're pulling from the center on the Kid Silk Haze.
So I've at least reduced this to 1 by taking 2 ends.
Right.
But then I'm going to have to split this into 2 balls, 1 for each side. Yeah. And then I got to split this into 4 balls.
Yeah, because it doesn't require as much yarn of each color. Right.
I think that might be a bit much. I mean, I can count the number of rows, right?
Sure.
It's tempting. I'd like to do it, but just because of the ball management aspect, I might not. Anyway, so this is Candy by Quail Studio. Mm-hmm. And it is fine lace and Kid Silk Haze, as is this sweater, which I'm wearing, which came as part of a trunk show, which I'm in love with, even though I would never knit this. But it was so cute on the mannequin. Yeah. Like, it's just not something I would pick out, and I don't think it's in the magazine in this color.
No, it's a different color in the magazine.
Do you know what color it is? I'm going to show it. But...
it's actually the colors that are on the tag.
Okay.
That came with it. And I don't remember
which
what the numbers are.
At all.
Yeah, I think I have...
676 and 944.
Yeah. So, I have a feeling...
Like, I just mean, is it blue, red...
I can't even remember. This is all I can picture. We'll show a picture of it.
Yeah, I know I will, but I just wanted to. Anyway,
Yeah.
But it's so cute. So this little, I don't know if you can see this little detail
I
here
know.
where she changes, and this is Drizella by Georgia Farrell, and it's from magazine 69, but this little eyelet
Yeah.
where
It's
she goes
stunning.
into the twisted ribbing or lace. What is that?
I
It's
don't
like
know.
a twisted rib of
Yeah.
some kind. And the same,
And
like
she
the little
uses it at
eyelets
yeah.
here.
It's
And
gorgeous.
then, hold on,
Yeah, hold on to your pants.
the back,
Yeah.
stunning.
Yeah.
I just feel like I need a poodle skirt, and then I'm going to, like when everything buttoned up the back in
Well,
the 50s.
The theme of the magazine is vintage.
I know.
Or nostalgia, sorry. Nostalgia.
I'm picking up what they're putting down.
Yeah.
I
it's
knew that,
really nice.
but yeah.
So, I think that the money Rowan must invest in getting all of that beautiful photography and the models and everything. And I know that sometimes when we show the fashion shows, people say, I can't picture myself in that or whatever. But they never send samples that they're not all model size. Because I'm quite a bit bigger than you are. And there's some samples that we've got that are too big for me to wear. And this one fit me. So this is the one I'm wearing. But so far, every trunk show we've gotten, the garments actually look better way better in person than they did in the magazine, even though the magazine is beautiful.
I think they stand out.
Yeah.
because you get to meet them in person.
Yeah.
So this is what we're dealing with here. I love this green color.
Yes.
It's
So that's
so
pear.
fresh.
And jelly.
Yeah. And we got another sample out of the same
Yes.
color
Yeah.
that I'm hoping to get to wear next recording, but I don't know if we'll have it that long.
I don't know.
We'll take a
model
picture
them
with
maybe
it
and take
anyway.
pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just feel like this is going to be the thing where nobody noticed this in the magazine, similar to us. And now that you've seen it,
Yeah.
you're just all going to want to knit it. And
Yeah.
it would be quick because it's sort of cropped.
It is
and-
cropped.
Yeah.
I tried it on. So it has like a drop sleeve and this kind of,
Yeah.
it's not really like a dolman sleeve, but there's extra room there.
Yeah.
So it actually, I could get it on. It was tighter
But
on
for the
me,
cropped
obviously,
part, you didn't like.
Cropped is just not my thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hit me where it's flattering.
Right. And
Cropped,
I have
so.
on high-waisted jeans.
So if I was to do that, because I just think it's as cute as a button, and I'm all about a turtleneck
Right.
anytime, and this extra detail here is just
so
fantastic.
gorgeous. Yeah.
I would do it longer.
You could.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's the buttons and this lacy rib. It reminds me of the one in the Roman hat.
Yes.
What would you
With the
call that? Is
little-
it a twisted rib or a
Well,
lace rib?
A lace rib. Yeah. It's probably got some kind of little like yarn over in the middle of it or something.
And I mean, I love the fresh color. I don't
Yeah.
usually wear green, and I'm not sure it's my thing.
I don't know. It looks good on you.
But
And that rib is the same in the turtleneck. It's just beautiful.
there's just so many patterns in these magazines. It's hard to appreciate them all. Mm-hmm. And because we didn't know that the eyelets were here, and we didn't, we didn't notice the buttons because you're kind of flipping through and we don't study it. I mean, some people probably really do when they're selecting things, but when I saw this, I couldn't believe it.
No, I know. And the color is a knockout. And it's not a color. If you were looking at these colors together, like on we put them together in the display in the store
Looks
because
amazing.
it's just so fresh and springy.
Yeah.
And
so this is jelly. So
Yeah.
do they need the number?
no, it's by name on the thing.
Okay.
Anyway, the number,
Yeah.
I can't remember what the number, and pear.
Pear. Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so
Yeah.
over to you. What have you got on?
It's really nice. And I have on Meggi by Martin Storey.
Nice.
And this is
I'm fascinated by how this looks
Yes.
versus how it feels.
why? Me too, but why do you say
Well,
that?
this yarn has a bit of sheen to it.
Yes. It's Softyak DK, which we're going to do our...
And I don't mean this in a bad way, but one could almost think that it could be like a silk, or it almost looks like it could be like some kind of an acrylic or something. But
Yeah.
it's not. It's
No.
soft and it's a natural fiber. So
Right.
that's fascinating. It's the sheen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to show the balls of yarn and you'll see.
Yeah.
So,
And it definitely looks like something that would never pill.
no,
It almost feels like a cotton.
it is a cotton.
Oh, is it? With
76% cotton.
Oh, okay.
With 76% cotton with 15% yak and
Oh, okay.
9% nylon.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Neat.
a chainette.
Right.
yarn.
Yeah.
It's not plied.
You can tell because this is why Arne and Carlos use this yarn on their cushions.
Yeah.
Because it must be very hard wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat.
And it has a silky feel to it.
Yeah. It's really nice. And I think this color is so interesting because you never wear neutral hardly ever.
No.
Looks amazing though.
It's pink.
It's champagne.
Yeah, like a champagne color. And again, I wouldn't have looked twice at it in the book.
Right. I think it's just overwhelming the book. You need to kind of sit down with it for a week and really like look at all the details because these designers go above and beyond. I mean, they're not phoning it in. Like it's amazing how they design
this
stuff.
also has like a little diamond pattern in the cuff. So this is, when you look at it in the magazine, all you see is the squares, and it looks like it's a little bit boxy, but it's not. It's kind of,
well, it probably looks boxy on the model because they probably don't know necessarily what size the model's going to be within a certain range.
Yeah, I'm a little bit curvier than the
Right.
model, probably, too, because they're like sticks.
Right.
The one that's modeling.
And this here, like this stripe going under the arm.
Yeah.
And it's really
There's
amazing
a lot
the
of
amount of detail that goes in.
And I really like this neck. And
Yeah.
Martin must be a fan of this neck because it's the same neck that the Cornwallis has.
Okay.
Like that kind of a crew neck, but open.
Right. I'd like that too.
And I find that's better for me because I don't have a
Comfortable.
very long neck, so it gives me a little bit of space, so it elongates my neck slightly. And the detail, like the cuff, it's like a diamond, a raised diamond, and then you have the rib, which is not just plain rib either. There's some kind of fancy stitch there.
Yeah.
So
looks like a moss stitch rib or
sort
something.
of, yeah, something. So all of those little details that you can't really discern when you're just looking at the pictures in the book, and you flip through the book, and and I have to tell you that this is going to be the yarn that we're going to feature in the Rowan review part, but it feels very, very nice to wear.
Yeah. It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not
cool.
Yeah.
Like it's not
I was going to
super
just
hot.
say that.
I mean, I'm sweltering in this job.
Yeah.
It is quite warm in here today.
It's cotton, so it's not and
Neat.
it doesn't feel like it would stretch either.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the chain end, possibly.
Yeah.
And it's got some yak in it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Neat.
So we'll talk more about the yarn though after. So that's that.
Cool.
And the FOs are nada.
How could we possibly finish anything with all this going
I
on?
don't even have an ornament, but I can show.
Nah, that's fine.
No.
We've gone without FOs before.
Yeah, so there's no FOs. So and I don't know the next time there'll be an FO. Even you'll have one.
I hope so. Unless I have to redo that sleeve.
Okay. So anyway, we can work overtime and do it.
To get an FO?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't stay up past 9 o'clock anymore. So
I know, and you're up at 5.
I know.
You need to fix that.
I can't.
Stay up
That's
till
just the way
10:30.
I can't.
Get up at 6:30.
No.
You can do it.
I can't.
It's because you're not having coffee every night.
Yeah, maybe. So I was laughing because I said to Ken, I said, I thought of this. I hadn't thought of this in a long, long time. But when I was working for the company that I worked for, I worked from home a lot for the first 10 to 12 years that I worked. And then I guess after I was there with the company for about 12 or 13 years, I was moved into the head office in Montreal. And so my work schedule was nothing for me to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing work when I was at home. But I didn't really change my habits too much when I was working at the office. And we were at the time when I joined the office, the office was in a renovated series of townhouses in historic. They were heritage buildings, but they had to keep the facades the same, but they renovated inside. So it was all like you had to go up 3 stairs and down 4 stairs to get through all that. It was like a cattycomb. Mm-hmm. And they just had like a little door that was like a store door, kind of the metal door, like a proper door for a business, but it was just like one man-sized door. And there was a whiteboard next to the door. And I was new there. Nobody told me that if you were in the office and you were there past 5 o'clock, you had to go down and write your name on the whiteboard that you were still there. And when you left the office, you erased your name off of the whiteboard. And the last person to leave, then they had to set the alarm. So this is was a big multinational company, but this is how it was.
Right.
Now we're talking a number of years ago,
Right.
like 25 or years ago or so. So that was it. But nobody told the new girl that you had to write your name on the board. So people were working late there all the time. It was crazy. Like everybody was working. But I had this huge big project that I had to finish before I went on vacation. The first summer that I was there. And I had no idea about the whiteboard and the name. So at 5:00, everybody left, or they all signed their names and whatever. And the last person left at I don't know what time. And before I knew it, it was 4:30 in the morning, and I was still there.
Oh my God.
It was 4:30.
I've never worked until that hour.
Yeah, I was really trying to get this finished, and these two big burly police officers came to my office and said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, oh, and they were French, and I could barely speak French. And I was like being nervous and being all of a sudden questioned by police at 4:30 in the morning. My French wasn't any better at that point. And I said, well, clearly I'm not trying to steal anything because I'm sitting behind my desk looking like I was drugged through the knothole or whatever, or through the hedge backwards, as somebody would say. And I'm just trying to finish this project before I go. And I really want to get out of here before people start arriving because I'm still here.
Right.
Anyway, so they had to call. There was a man that was managed the office. He managed everything. And so they had to call him. His name was Yves. They called him at 4:30 in the morning and asked to verify who I was. He wasn't too happy.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And he was like, what kind of a nut
Exactly.
would be there at 4:00 in the morning?
Yeah, he actually said that when I got back from vacation, I ran into him in the hall and he said, I'm going to tell you right now that if that happens again, I'm going to tell them that I don't know who you are.
Good. Way to go, Eve.
Anyway, so then I found out about the whiteboard.
Nice. Your poor husband waiting home for you.
No, he knew I was finishing it because I didn't want to bring it home.
He thought you were a nut too.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Anyway,
Works until
it
that hour.
was pretty.
Oh my
You
goodness.
never crammed for exams or anything?
Well, no. Well, this is how my brain, I just shut off. If I wasn't done studying by 11, it wasn't going in.
Oh, really?
No,
Oh, no.
that was it. I tried to do the Coke thing one
The
night,
what?
like Coca-Cola. I drank a whole, and I never drink pop because I don't like it, but I thought, I'm going to nail this math exam or whatever, and I'll drink this 2-liter bottle of Coke. Well, I never did that again. I don't think I slept for a week, but it didn't help me score any better on the exam.
No.
My philosophy was I'm better with a fresh brain that has sleep than cramming.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
No.
I don't think it works. I don't think you're retaining what you think you are.
Well, now
and then you show up and you can barely write your name because you're on no sleep.
I just I've been watching there's a show on the CBC in Canada called The Nature of Things. So I don't know how widely distributed that is around the world, but it's David Suzuki. So if you're in tune with the environment at all, you know who David Suzuki is. I think from almost every country. He's pretty world renowned. Anyway, he's been hosting it for, I think it's in its 50th year.
Yeah.
It's the longest running series ever. But it's a documentary series, and they do all kinds of, it's very interesting. All of the shows are very well done, and it's a weekly show. And there was one just about that, about why you have to sleep. And one of the things was they were talking about people cramming. And they did these little experiments with babies where they taught them something, and then they put them down for a nap, or they didn't. And the babies that napped right after learning the sequence of things, they had to take a mitten off of a puppet, basically, is what they had to do, and then shake it. And the babies that learned that then went down for a nap, called how to do it right away. It was amazing. They show it on, and the ones that didn't get a nap right after, we're starting from scratch.
Totally. I love it when I do my own little experiment and it turns out I'm right.
Yeah.
Because I was just totally anecdotal. That was my experience. I always felt like I'm smart. If it's multiple choice or essay questions, I can fudge it on a rested brain better than I'll be able to retain what I'm now trying to jam in at the last minute. And those people who sit in front of the exam room and they're like, do you know what's
Yeah.
this? What's that?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that?
No, I never did
I
that.
would just walk away.
Yeah,
like
I
you
never
guys
did
are
that.
not helping yourselves. You're
No.
actually just confusing yourselves.
No, I never did that, but I could stay up late.
Yeah. So I remember it's funny because like I kind of was a bit lucky. Like I was a little bit smart. So if I read something once or twice, I was probably pretty good. So being paranoid and cramming extra was definitely not beneficial. But I remember this was one class that was at 8:30 in the morning, and I was a cocktail waitress. So I went to this class like rarely. This is in university, and there was a guy sitting behind me. And I showed up. I happened to show up one morning because much as I don't read through a pattern, I wasn't very good at reading through the syllabus either. I had no idea there was a test this day.
Oh.
I just happened to go that day and there was a test. And the guy behind me, just like the crammers, was like, so are you ready for this? I'm like, ready for what? He goes, there's a test today. You're never here. You're screwed. Like, he was basically like, I can't believe how obnoxious you are.
Yeah.
I got an A and he got a C. He was like, no way! That's so unfair! You're never here! I was like, it's lucky. It's a miracle I didn't miss it altogether. I was just thankful I showed up. I mean, it was multiple choice, like, simmer down, buddy. But
Wow.
I mean, I was lucky like that. Like, I had pretty good retention but I don't even think I studied at all. And I wasn't at the class, so I must have guessed.
I wasn't a very
I'm a good guesser.
I wasn't a very good studier, but I did take lots of notes and pay attention in class.
Yeah, it's
And
hard to do
then-
if you're not at the class,
Yeah,
though.
well, I didn't do that, but I didn't really study, which was not really good when I ended up in university because I went through high school and whatever, and after the first year of university, you kind of have to know a little bit of how to study.
Yeah.
I didn't even know really how to study.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a wake up call,
Right.
pardon the pun, for me when I was there because I learned how to study after that.
Good
But,
times.
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
I've always, and I always get hungry. You know what my metabolism is like? So I've had to leave exams early because I was so embarrassed by how loud my stomach was that I just wanted to get out of the room. So I also had to work under that time pressure. It's a miracle I graduated with anything. It's very distracting. You can't be hungry and learn either.
No.
I mean, there's really
Just
something
eat
to all this stuff. Well, once you get in there and it's 3 hours, if you get hungry, what are you going to
Well,
do?
I think you can take a granola bar or something with you.
I wasn't that organized.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Pack a lunch for your...
I remember being at a job interview once and my stomach was growling so bad, and the woman was interviewing me as her mat leave replacement.
Yeah.
And so she was like 8 months pregnant, and she was like, good God, I've got a granola bar in my purse. Let me go get it for you so we can at least finish this. So the poor pregnant woman gave me her granola bar so that I could finish the interview and we could both concentrate.
Oh, boy.
I know.
Fun times.
They weren't expecting that
No.
story. Okay,
no.
good.
So-
Okay, shop update.
Update, okay.
Moving right along. So, this is what we've been working on for like 2 months now.
Wow.
Doesn't look like it would take that long.
It didn't. It was washed, and then we took a break, and then we've been working hard last week.
So everyone's like, what is this? So, you know, we love our Heatherdale Lopi when we get to do it. And so this is the Icelandic Fleece. This is from Blomidon Farm.
Right.
Which is an Icelandic sheep farm.
Yeah.
Owned by Toby and James. And we bought their entire clip.
Yeah.
Was it recently? Last year.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was spring or fall. And I've been coveting dyed Lopi. So it was a really easy thing to do the vineyard last time over the dark brown. Mm-hmm. But I've been dreaming of blue Lopi because it's so weird to have blue tones on what is normally like a variation of a brownie or a natural. And so even the red vineyard that we featured last time we did Lopi was not a big departure, I'd say. It's like a rich brownie wine tone. Mm-hmm. But this, I'm excited about.
It's
I just
stunning.
have been dreaming of a blue Lopi. So we did it in spruce, Trondheim blue. Still don't have a better name for that. It's a blue that I designed so that we could make the Trondheim mink. It's Trondheim blue. A Night Without Stars. This, I don't know. And then this beautiful natural fleece color.
Yeah.
So these are all over dyed over a little bit of heathered.
Yeah. Lamb. Well, this is the color.
Yeah. This is the color it started out at. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with how it turned out.
And you have to see it to appreciate, because it has a sheen.
It's very lustrous.
Yeah, it has a very lustrous sheen, and it is soft and smushy. And I brought these because I'm just,
I know.
hats.
Look at this together.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah. So, and then
This rich one would go really nicely with the
Yeah.
spruce.
Yeah.
So obviously I have to list these pom-poms.
Yeah.
And
They're not
well,
listed?
I don't know that the inventory is up to date, but
Okay.
we'll up to, and then there's the link to the Lopi is coming out in the newsletter.
Right.
So from now on, we're not linking to stuff in the show notes.
Yeah.
We're linking to it in the newsletter.
Yeah.
So hopefully you all signed up after last week last episode when I mentioned that.
And we should say that these pom-poms are handmade by
Yep. A local
a girl
woman.
down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emily makes these. Lucky Finn.
Yeah.
Handmade.
Handmaids. Yeah. And they're
So-
really full and
And
lovely.
they have the not real fur, so faux fur, but
Right.
she buys the good stuff. It looks really nice. And they have the snaps on the bottom. So you sew on the bottom of the snap, and then you snap this so that if you want to wash your hat or whatever, you
Yeah.
can take the pom-pom off.
Take the pom-pom off because definitely the washer dryer ruins
Yeah.
them.
And if you've bought our Heatherdale Lopi in the past, this is a finer spin.
Just imagine the decadence of a whole sweater done out of this.
Yeah,
I really
I
hope
know.
someone does that.
It's really silky.
It's 4 colors, so I'm sure there's lots of Lopi patterns usually don't have more than 4 colors.
No.
But it's probably a bit fine of a gauge to get the typical Lopi that
Yeah.
we're used to from the 70s, but I'm sure some of the Lopi producing companies make different gauges.
And it's not like some of the Lopi yarns that I've seen are almost like they seem to be almost like a roving.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
It's a
twisted,
twisted.
but it's a single.
Yeah.
It's a single twisted.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get finer and finer because it makes it a little bit more versatile for
Right.
knitting, and I think this is kind of the recipe now.
And these are 125 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So
And it has
hopefully you
it's
sign
got
up for
like
the
an inner
newsletter.
glow.
Yeah, and if you miss it for some reason, just email us and we'll send you the link. If you missed the newsletter or you didn't sign up after last time.
Yeah.
So that is exciting. They look lovely. I would be so cool if somebody actually did a color work type project with it.
Yeah, really nice.
If I had the time. I'd be
That's why I add that to the list.
working on the Flax for a
Yeah.
while. Okay.
So there's not much more to talk about in the shop, just
Nope.
just that. But we do have all the books that we had are still we still have stock of everything. There's not really anything.
Magazine 69.
Yeah, magazine 69, and
And
we
this is
are
from the Essential Brights book.
yes.
Yeah, there'll be a link to that in the show notes and magazine 69.
Right.
And all the information about these patterns.
Right, and we are waiting for the confirmation for 52 weeks of shawls.
Right. Yes.
Yes, so we have
That's
that
coming
on
in.
order. So that's
Yeah.
coming on, but we don't know have an exact date yet.
Okay.
So unless we get it before this.
Right. No, it
Get
won't be shipped
published.
before April 30th, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Okay. So we'll talk about that when that comes up. Okay. So so now we'll do our yarn review.
Yep.
Rowan review.
Let it
it's-
rip.
Yeah. Softyak DK. So, as we said, this is what this sweater is made out of. It is also the yarn used in bark, which I'm going to be knitting for Ken. So, in out of the Union book by Martin Storey. Martin Storey must like this yarn because he uses it for a few things. And it's also the yarn that's used in the cushions that Arne Carlos designs, which we have that book as well. So, the content of the yarn, we already said, was 76% cotton, 15% yak, and 9% nylon. And people that watch us know we're not really big proponents of synthetic fibers, but if it's like a low percentage, sometimes I think it helps with the spinning of the some of the fibers that we use. So
And it's a chainette, so it's not going to come out and pill.
no,
Yeah.
it's a chainette yarn, DK. And it's 50-gram balls for 135 meters or 148 yards. So
And can
that's
you
the size
explain
of it.
for people who don't know what chainette is?
Yeah, so instead of being twisted around, I'm not exactly sure how they make it, but it has
It's braided, woven.
it almost looks like it's braided
Okay.
rather than, well, not really braided, but it's like a little tube.
Okay. Yeah, it's hollow.
It's like
in
a
the
tiny,
middle.
tiny I cord.
Yeah. Yes, that is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
A very tiny, tiny I cord.
And if they don't know what I cord is, it stands for idiot cord.
Yeah.
I think it's an Elizabeth Zimmerman thing.
Is she the one that
who
came up with
designed
it?
it?
I don't know.
Anyway, you look up I-cord and you'll see much larger versions of
because it's everybody thinks it's so neat, but it's so easy to make.
Yeah.
So this led me down a rabbit hole, along with a question that somebody asked. One of our customers wrote to and wanted to knit something for a baby, but didn't want to use wool, and she said, "I don't know what yarn. I know all the Rowan yarns are hand wash, and so I don't think there's anything else I can use other than a yarn that they made years ago and was discontinued." So then I started looking at, I said, well, just a second. I don't think that that's true. I think that there is machine washable yarns, and there's actually quite a few. This is one of them.
Right.
So on the label, and I think you were putting the washing instructions.
The care instructions were on every yarn.
Yeah.
And then our website decided it didn't like the image format.
Right.
And now they're gobbledygook.
Okay.
So I'm now deleting all the images. But I think what we should do is go through in the collection pages and mark machine washable.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
because really that's the most important part. You'll find out the rest when you get the label.
Yeah.
But if I just put machine washable, like if you click Kids Silk's on the left and then that collection page comes up, I'll put it right under the yarn description if it's machine washable or not.
So Kids Silk's is not machine washable.
Right.
But
I mean, that amount of fluff
but
would be.
Softyak DK
is.
And they have the temperature that you can wash it at. None of them can be thrown in the dryer.
Right. We're not talking about dryer.
No.
We're talking about washer.
Machine washable. And this one is actually, I had to look up some of the symbols on them because there's European symbols and there's US symbols. And it's machine washable and it's dry in the shade.
Neat.
I never heard of that before.
Right.
So as I said, I found this. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. So we're just going to hold up some of the colors because there's 23 colors in this yarn and we have them all. And I don't know how I got to jaune, but they're
so pretty.
Picked these out as kind of a representation of the. I thought I brought a red or an orange.
No, but this sweater would be really nice in this blue.
Yeah,
as it is. It's in this one here.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. And do you know what this blue is called by chance?
It's either Albany or Submarine.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, a blue would be really pretty.
Yeah. So they have neutrals, like good neutrals, and they have a good range of colors. There's also two beautiful reddy orange colors.
Yeah, those reds are stunning.
Yes,
yeah.
And there's another one, is it papaya or pampas? Pampas.
Is one of the reds called Lee?
Yes.
LEA.
Lee, and I forget what the other one is. But anyway, look on our website. They're all there. We have them all.
There'll be linked to show notes into this collection.
And black. There's a cream color, but there's no white.
Right.
So in the neutrals,
it's actually a heathered yarn.
Yes. It's like they call it shell, I think. Or
like
something
the
like
yak is probably adding a bit of color to this.
Right.
Yeah.
And
there's no white yaks, or if there are, they're probably pretty rare.
Yeah. But it has that kind of like just a gentle sheen to it.
Yeah. It's neat.
It's really nice, and I can say wearing it because when I saw it used as a cushions, I thought, okay, well then that's what it's good for. But I hadn't seen any garments made in it, and now that I've had a chance to wear this, it makes a beautiful.
Seems like it would wear really well.
Yeah,
and machine washable. So is she getting this for her baby project?
No, she's most of the yarns that have cotton in them are machine washable.
Okay.
I won't say all of them because it's not all of them, but she's looking at hand knit cotton for it actually, and that is machine washable.
All right. So anything else to say about that? It's just neat.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting. It's a really different kind of yarn.
Yes.
If you want to try something different.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be really easy to work with because the chain net construction would make the ply so clean.
Yeah.
And then the little bit of yak and nylon, I don't know how stretchy it is.
Not very.
Not very. No, it's very tight. So it's like a cotton yarn in terms of
it will perform more like a cotton yarn.
Yeah. Okay, neat.
But I was fascinated by this, but because who knew that there was a thing for drip dry in the shade?
Not me.
Like, these are all kinds. And the temperatures that you use, like this one is machine wash and 30 degrees Celsius or under. So
we'll put a link to this guide where you found it on the internet.
Yeah.
It's on a site called I Hate Ironing. I think our mother started that.
She doesn't mind ironing.
She hates ironing.
She can do a shirt under 4 minutes.
I know she can, but do you remember the piles of shirts that used to be in the laundry
but
basket? She hates ironing.
I don't know. I like ironing.
Mom, weigh in. She hates ironing shirts. She is very good at it.
Yeah.
No wonder. She's done thousands.
Yeah.
But yeah, the site is called IHateIroning.com.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it was the most comprehensive one that I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Cool.
Yeah. Line dry in the shade.
Stop it.
Dot. Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. There's everything here. So if you ever need to know what some of them are, because some of them I didn't know. I mean, I knew the basic wash, dry.
I never look at them, obviously. Yeah. But it is
and
neat.
There's a whole system now, like with dots for temperatures and lines underneath for temperatures. And
dry clean. What is this?
The different
dry
chemicals.
clean, reduced moisture, dry clean, no steam, dry clean, low heat, dry clean, short cycle, do not dry clean.
I wonder if Betty Bright knows what those mean.
I don't know. Go ask them down at Betty Bright. That's our biggest dry cleaner in town.
Yeah, in town. So that's it.
All right. Wow.
Okay. So that's Softyak DK.
Sweet. I love it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting yarn. I'm excited that you're knitting something with it. I actually didn't realize that sweater was made out of that.
Yes.
It makes a lot of
sense.
sense.
I actually thought it was denim revive.
Me too.
But it's not. It's
okay.
this.
We may have misspoken in an earlier episode about that.
Well, no, we knew because we brought in the yellow.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why I ended up with the second ball of yellow, because that's one of the colors
Your
on
little
the edge of it.
suitcase that you go back and forth with already had the yellow in it.
Yeah.
All right.
So, we couldn't get on the internet this afternoon. So I couldn't access part of Ask Us, all the different things that we looked at Ask Us Anything on, but we did access Ravelry. I went on the desktop version on my phone to be able to get this Ask Us Anything. So it's Firestar Mom. And she wants to know about does she have to alternate neon sock kits and a painting bricks shawl that she wants to make, because she bought 2 kits but at different times, so they're not the same batch.
But each little brick is contained in something else. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't complicate my life.
No.
I
really wouldn't.
If anybody has just awoken from hibernation, is by Stephen West.
Yeah.
Painting bricks.
So I always use my judgment when it comes to alternating. I'm definitely alternating on my flax, things like that. But where everything is, you want it to look continuous, something like this, where there's all of that, or even something like this, I might try to get away with not.
Yeah.
And I think where all those little things are contained, they shouldn't be that different, but also look at them side by side and see what you think.
And even if they are different,
it's not going to matter
in yellow. It's going to match.
I mean, it's the same tone.
Yes.
Could be slightly darker or lighter.
Yeah, and I think that would even add interest.
Yeah.
Really.
Because I was going to say, as you're about to run out of one, you could alternate one. I don't know how the shawl is constructed, so I don't know what the flow of the color is, but you could alternate maybe the last square before you transition to the next kit.
Yeah.
But I personally, I wouldn't even, I wouldn't attempt it, but you'll have to see how it looks.
Yeah. We're all about the details and redoing things and stuff, but for me, that wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, and it depends on how long apart they were purchased too, because the powder that I use, the dye powder, is organic.
Yeah.
It does tend to vary a little bit more than a commercial, like a truly commercial chemical. They're all chemicals, but I find there's more variation in it than probably most commercial, like jacquard dye.
Yeah.
So sometimes certain batches, I mean, it's a small batch kind of product. It's made by another Belfast mini mill owner in Connecticut. So, I think that if it was super far apart, I might even have a different dye lot of dye before I even did the different dye lot of the yarn.
Yeah.
And then the blue actually was discontinued and changed somewhere in there.
Yeah.
The bright blue. So, but for something like that,
no,
I wouldn't.
Anytime you've got a pattern, like the knitting pattern that breaks the flow of the
Yeah.
eye. It's not really because
That's
that's
a shawl you're wrapping around. It's
Yeah.
not like something that's going to drape flat.
yeah,
you know.
like an acre of stockinette that your eye very quickly
Like
can
in
pick
something
up.
like stockinette, yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't do that. So so that was the only official Ask Us Anything question
That we could find.
that we
no
could find.
internet.
And a lot of people were asking about the harmony part from the last time. So I don't tell Jennifer what I download in there or upload, or am I downloading or uploading?
You're uploading it and then I'm downloading it.
Okay. So I don't tell Jennifer until she has to go find it and see what it is.
Download it.
Yeah. So the that dam is called Knox Dam, and it's just right outside Montague, which is the biggest town closest to us.
It's not town though. It's
No.
a town. But
Yes.
It's not town.
We've talked about this
Montague.
before. So people that are rabid watchers of us know
Right.
all about town and town. But Montague...
A town versus town.
Yeah.
There's only one town, and that's the city.
Without a preposition in front of it.
Right.
Like
It's just town.
Town.
That's the city.
Yeah. So
Montague's a town.
Montague is a town.
That's not a city.
Yeah. If you want to be part of the district called Three Rivers, because there's a river, and on the Montague River there's a dam called Knox Dam, and I did a bit of I heard about it, and I thought it looked beautiful, so we went there to take that video, which was taken about a month and a half ago. So even though there was snow in the video, we still didn't have snow.
Mm-hmm.
The weather had changed already by that point, but it was frozen. And there's another one there that you might want to show, because there's like a cascade of ice that comes down.
Right.
So maybe that'll end up on today's, I don't know. There'll be snow, but that was taken a month and a half ago. But the Knox Dam, I don't know what they built it for, but it's pretty elaborate the way, like it's substantial as far as the construction of it.
Right.
There's a beautiful home, Victorian home, that's right next to it, which is now a bed and breakfast. And I thought, oh, well, this is nice. And then was this part of, was it a mill like for wood? Because there's lots of dams on the island that were affiliated with lumber mills. So when I looked it up, it was a hydroelectric dam.
Huh.
Tiny one.
Yeah.
And it provided the power for Montague for quite a long time.
Wow.
And they also, so the next town after Montague is Georgetown. It provided enough power that it serviced Montague and part of Georgetown.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And the supervisor of the mill, or the hydroelectric operation, lived in the house.
It's a gorgeous house.
It's a
Do you know what
gorgeous
the bed and breakfast is called?
No.
It's stunning. They're gardens. Every
Yeah.
time I drive by, I feel like a complete gardening failure.
And when we walked through, I said to Ken, I said, wow, I'm not so sure that this, because it's a public space. It's like a tiny, I wouldn't even call it a park. It's like a tiny little path, and then they have stairs built so you can go down to the bottom.
So is that in front of the house on this road or on the road going up the hill?
So there's like a crossroads there.
So is it if you were coming from Montague, would it be to the right or up the fork?
It's right across, so right where you think would be where the mailbox is in front of the house. There's a little place you can park. You think you're parking for the mailbox,
and then do you go to the right of the mailbox, or
then
up?
you go? The house is on your left hand side, and there's a little path, right past the house, and
on the side of the house.
On the side of the house.
Okay.
And
the Montague facing side of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, faces. It's kind of it's
on
an
like
angle.
This. Yeah. Okay.
It's on an angle. Anyway, it's not hard to find when you know the area is. So, but there's that structure that we showed in the last video, and then there's like a falls underneath, and there's stairs that you can go down so you can get below where
neat.
the dam is. And then there's another little structure that I also took video of where the water is falling. It's not where I was taking it was kind of like a soft, just like an overflow. This part, there's a deep.
It's going into
deep
like a
hole.
square.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a huge big ice cascade there, which I didn't realize. I thought that was created somehow by nature with the ice, but it's actually there's like a concrete structure that comes out,
okay.
and it was completely iced over, so you couldn't see it. It just
Oh.
looked like there was ice.
Huh.
But that's where it formed up on that thing.
Neat.
So
Hidden treasure.
yeah, really is.
And you didn't have to kill yourself to get to it, like that Egypt's Falls that we went to with
no,
Big Red and Holy Lord.
no, there's a beautiful path to get
Yeah.
there. And room for 4 or 5 cars to park. That's about it. Like it's really, but it's, I really had no idea that it was like an early hydroelectric.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. And that they were providing the town with electricity. And I think you can read about it if you Google Knox Dam Montague. You can read about it. I think if I'm remembering correctly, I meant to look it up again before I came here to do this, but they provided power. There was one day a week where you didn't have power. You got power for...
It's kind of like how today is apparently the one day this week we don't have internet.
Yeah. I think it's something like it was like $5 a month for the power, but there was one but no power on Sundays or something like that. It was really funny reading it. I don't know if I dreamt that or if it was really but
That's funny.
they had to share it
Yeah.
because it was like early.
Neat.
Yeah. So that was the Ask Us Any, or the Harmony part from last time.
Cool. And we have another Harmony part for this time.
Yes.
I assume. And then that'll be the end of the icy, snowy Harmony parts?
Yes.
Okay, because everyone's probably tired of looking at ice.
Yeah. Well, somebody wrote and said it was 90 degrees where they were.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
We should have been
Fahrenheit.
videotaping the horses when they got their hay this week.
Oh,
Not
boy.
that it was very harmonious.
No.
They were crazy.
Yeah, they were feeling their oats, as they say.
Because I'm kind of like, you need to finish what's there before you get new.
Yeah.
So their hay must have run out, a full 4 hours before their breakfast got delivered.
Yeah.
And like anarchy ensued.
Yes.
They were that annoyed.
They were frisky. I think they were excited because it was grocery day.
Yeah. They were extra excited because
It's spring.
It's like every time an animal around here can't eat for a minute, they're like, oh my God, I can feel a rib. Where are they at? And they're all so fat. Like literally there's a horse out there that is like unhealthily obese, starving to death, clearly, with a full belly.
Yeah, she definitely can live on sunshine and snacks.
And by the way, everybody else is still eating the dry hay. The one that doesn't need grass is out there scouring the miniature April green shoots.
Yeah.
Just out there like a Hoover.
Yeah.
Trying to get any amount of grass that she can get.
Yeah.
She shouldn't be having grass.
No, she gets a mask, like a feeding mask put on because she gets fat really fast.
Yeah, and so she has an actual like metabolic issue.
Yeah.
That many horse people will be familiar with. But yeah, she's the last person who should be out scouring for grass. The other two are fine with the dry hay. They're both skinny thoroughbreds or whatever, and she's out there just trying to get any little green morsel she can shove in her.
Yeah. But she was, she's not really the most active. She doesn't
waste energy.
Yeah, she doesn't waste any energy. But she was kicking up her heels.
She reared up on her hind feet and took a few steps forward, just like a Lipizzan stallion.
Yeah, I know.
It was incredible.
I've never seen her move like
And
that.
I was yelling, "You're 17 and overweight!" And she supposedly has like a ligament issue.
No, I don't
in
think
her
so.
hind legs. I thought, great.
Yeah, no,
That'll do it.
I don't think so. I think she was in good spirits.
Yeah, anyway, it was chaos. We had to try to corral them away from us to even be safe putting it out.
Yeah. We had to get the lunge whip and crack that in the air a few times. To
get them away from us so we could safely deposit the breakfast.
Yeah, it was funny. Okay, so I guess that's it.
Great.
Yeah.
Another episode.
So another episode in the can, as
See
they
you back
say.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you can join our group on Ravelry.
Yes. Please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you have a chance, and the notification bell.
That's right.
Yeah. And well, one other thing we could tell them is that we just finished working on some fun tutorials for people who want to learn to knit.
Yes.
So if you have friends who have wanted to or have been knitting curious and want to learn to knit, we're just developing our own little set of tutorials to help people get started knitting. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure what order or pace we're going to release them in, but they'll probably be ready to go by next episode too.
And in case you missed it, then we are for special yarns that we're doing. We're now putting those links in the newsletter
only
because it seems to be more fair for people. So we're doing that. So if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, please subscribe there.
Please do so.
Yeah. Okay. So have a great 2 weeks, everybody.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.